welcome back to Galileo TV interview series. I'm Silvia Romanò, Chief International Affairs for Centro Studi Galileo. I'm here today with Claire Perry, Climate Campaign Leader for the EIA. And Claire, it's a big pleasure for us to have you here, not only as speaker and president of the conference, but also as expert of the sector. And I would like to profit from your expertise to ask you an insight about the situation of illegal trafficking and illegal trade of refrigerants in Europe, but also even internationally, or if you have any other information you can give us.
Yeah, sure. I mean, illegal trade in HFCs is happening now in Europe, and in fact, illegal trade in refrigerants, and starting with CFCs, then HCFCs, and now HFCs. It's always been the Achilles heel of the Montreal Protocol, which otherwise is known as the most successful treaty, environmental treaty ever. And it's something that a lot of work has been done to tackle this, but we've never really quite managed to tackle it. And I think what we witnessed in Europeo since 2018 was a very high level of illegal imports of HFCs, and this was because the EU had gone far ahead of the rest of the world in terms of phasing HFCs down, and the prices had increased rapidly in the EU, and so there's a big price differential between EU countries and outside EU, and of course this then gives smugglers a very good opportunity to make a lot of money with very low risk, and very low penalties, even if they do get caught, which normally they don't. So this combined with what we saw with CFCs, where there was a lot of illegal production and use of CFC 11 in China, which was also kicked off in 2018. That's when it was really discovered by the scientists who saw the emissions in the atmosphere. This has led to a process that's happening now in the Montreal Protocol. We are having a workshop in July, in a few weeks, at the open-ended working group, and the parties to the Montreal Protocol have agreed to look at how we can strengthen the protocol, strengthen the institutions to try and stop this illegal trade. So we're very excited about that process. We think it's very important, and it will be looking at things like licensing systems, how we can improve licensing systems, how we can improve monitoring of transboundary trade. And I think the EU has learnt its lesson the very hard way, but we have a lot of experience that we can share with other countries. So that's what I'm hoping that we can do at the Montreal Protocol.
And do you think training and education play a role in this?
Yes, absolutely. Training of customs officers. It's very complicated now. One of the things that back in the days of CFCs, there were only a few CFCs, and even with HCFCs, there was a few different species of HCFCs. We now have hundreds of HFCs and HFC blends, and so when and we're basing our phase down on a carbon dioxide equivalent. So this is very complicated. How is a customs officer meant to understand that this container or this cylinder has a certain amount of carbon dioxide equivalent in it? So there's lots of training and education is needed. Yeah, not just for customs officers, but for all the people, all the different stakeholders, and even end users. Mostly they don't think about too much what's inside the cooling equipment. They're not aware that there's actually a greenhouse gas there. So I think more education and training is really vital.
Thank you very much, Claire. Not only for your cooperation, but also for your insights. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.